This is going to show how to install a commercial door closer on a 3-hour fire door. So I put some masking tape on the top of the door so I can make some marks for the mounting the door closer, and it has to be 3.5 inches from the inside edge of the front door frame. And so I move my square so it lines up with 3.5, and then I just draw a vertical line there. Okay, so that's where the screws for the one side of the door closer will go. And the other set of screws, that dimension is 9 1/16 from hole center to hole center. So here I just measure 9 1/16, and I'll just make a small mark right there, and then I'll get my square again, put on the top of the door here by that 9 1/16 mark, and draw another vertical line. So those are the vertical lines for the door closer. Then I need to measure 1 inch down from the inside of the top of the frame. So 1 inch down. I'll just do it right here next to this line. So 1 inch down is right there. And do the same thing on this line. And those are the two locations for the top 2 screws for the door closer. And then the distance for the bottom hole is 3/4 of an inch center to center on those 2 holes. So I'm just going to go line this one up with that 2 inch mark, and then just make another mark 3/4 of an inch down from there. So right to here, and same thing from there. Okay, so there are the 4 holes that I need to drill and tap. In this case I have a metal 3-hour fire door, so I'll drill it out number 7 and then tap it 1/4 20. Okay, so I'm going to center punch these holes. Okay, so those 4 holes are center punched now. Drill them out with a 1/8 inch to start. So now you have to determine if you have a left or right hand door. In my case, this is a left hand door, so I need to install this arm on the door closer. This arm on the door closer, and so on a left hand door, this dimple, this little dimple right there. You see that dimple? There's a little dimple punched in. Has to be to the left. If you have a right hand door, that dimple would have to be the right, as this arm is placed on here. So that determines which side you attach this arm to. So left hand door, left hand dimple, right hand door, right hand dimple. So I'll put a screw in this to attach it. And once I get this attached, then then it can be mounted on the door. So all I'm doing is installing the screw. Install that screw to hold this on. It already has Loctite on the screw. It comes from with the kit. And I may have mentioned this before, but we're using 1/4-20 screws because we have a metal door and a metal frame. It's a three-hour fire rated door. If you have wood door, wood frame, the wood screws are also included in the kit. And so we're using the flathead screws to attach it to the door. So these are flathead screws, and so they'll go in so they're flush like that. Okay, I don't think I explained how I got this this A dimension, which right there, it's this A dimension is 3.5 inches. So there's a chart here. Hope you can see that. And so this door is mounted in a 45-degree angled wall. So, and the door opens inside into the room. And so the door needs to open 180 degrees. So in order to open that amount, then you go to this chart, and it says 280 degrees. That A dimension is 3.5 inches. So that's where that 3.5 inches came from. So now I'm going to mount the foot of this arm foot to the frame, door frame. And so I still need to use that 3.5 inch dimension to get that first screw hole location. So that's what I'm going to do now, is mark those holes for the foot. Use these dimensions to mount the foot up to the door frame. So this will go 1 inch from that previous dimension, starting dimension, which is the edge of the frame, and then we're going to go up 1 inch from there and create our line for where the foot attaches. So I'm looking for, it's going to end up being 9.5 inches from the edge, from the hinge line. So I'll measure that, starting from that hinge line, and come over 9.5 inches. So I'll put a piece of tape down so I can just draw it on the tape. So 9.5 inches from this edge. That's our first hole, 9.5 inches. And the next hole, the whole distance between the two holes in the foot are 1 3/4 of an inch. So make another mark at 1 3/4. Okay. So there are two marks, and then we need to be 1 inch above our previous dimensions that were marked from the top inside edge of the door frame. So go 1 inch up from there. Puts us right there. So just make this this is parallel. So right here. Just double check that. Okay. So there are the two hole locations for the mounting the foot. So drill those, tap those, center punch them, drill them, tap them, and then mount the foot. I'll try and get a little closer shot of this drill and tap to mount the foot. So hopefully this is a little better view. So I have a number 7 drill bit. I'm going to drill these out. So those are drilled out to number 7. That's the size hole for tapping quarter 20. Slow my drill down, put the quarter 20 tap in, and I'm going to put some tap magic on the drill bit, on the tap, so the hole will be tapped a little easier. So this is tap magic, and put some right on those flutes of the tap. And now I have it slowed down. I'm just going to take this tape off because we don't need that anymore. Just tap the use the drill to tap those holes. So next we get the quarter 20 two quarter 20 screws for mounting the foot. Okay, so we've got the foot. Just brush these shavings off of here. So once we get this mounted, then we can adjust the length of this rod, but right now I just want to get the foot attached to the frame. So we're just going through those quarter 20 holes we just tapped. Leave that loose for now until I get this one started. Now I can tighten both of them. Okay, so now I have everything mounted. Now we have to adjust everything. Okay, now we want to attach this arm and check to see if it's 90 degrees to the door frame. And it's a little bit off, so we need to shorten this arm. So we turn it in, rotate it in, check it again. We need to go just a little bit more shorter, a little bit shorter. Try that. That is perfect. So now we're perfectly 90 degrees. This arm is 90 degrees to the door frame. I know it's hard to see from there, but just take my word for it. Okay, so now I can put this washer and screw in to hold this so it doesn't come off of here.